Hey everyone, thank you for listening to another episode of Spoiler Force Podcast courtesy of Popluck. You can find more episodes of Spoiler Force Podcast on Apple Podcast, SoundCloud, YouTube, or on Facebook at facebook.com/popluckpodcast.
Hi, this is Kenji, and you're listening to Spoiler Force Podcast.
Alright, so this is episode 47 of Spoiler Force Podcast. My name is Ricky, and thank you for tuning in. First of all, I do want to thank LP and Hmong Productions for letting me use their tracks for the podcast. I think last week's episode of Chinchilla, I forgot to shout them out for that, so I do apologize for that. And also, make sure you guys check out their new track. They just released a new song earlier today of the recording of this podcast. It was dedicated to their former friend who recently passed away. He was also a fellow Hmong rapper too. I believe his name was Joe. He was with Rare and Shaolin Entertainment. So my condolences to him and his family and their friends. So make sure you check out that track that LP and Hmong did. It's a tribute to him. I'll have that link in the description of the podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. Today's guest for this week is someone that I'm very excited to talk with for the first time and just pretty much get to know. He's a young artist, up and coming, and I actually got into his music because of a song cover, and that was actually circulating on Facebook for a bit. Let me introduce my guest here, Kenji Her. Thank you for being on the podcast and making time to do this.
Hey guys, thank you so much, Ricky, for having me on the podcast.
Again, as I was saying earlier, the song that I noticed of your talent was definitely the song cover of Sasha Sloan's Dancing with Your Ghost. Your song cover blew me away. I thought that was really good because you were actually like one of the very few Hmong artists that I've seen that was doing song covers like that very well. I know that there was like artists who do that kind of genre, like Yami Lee did a little bit of that too. Mostly a lot of Hmong artists now, they're more into the hip hop, R&B, not so much into like that acoustic style anymore. So I thought that was really cool to see and refreshing to see that you were still doing this kind of genre. What pretty much got you into music? Was this something you've always been doing since you were young, or you just got into?
It's always been something that I've been doing as a kid. Like when I was, let's say, like probably 6 or 7, I was already like trying to learn the guitar, singing with my family. And that's one thing too, my family was really big with music. My mom and my dad would sing all the time. My sisters would sing all the time. And eventually it just became like it was just like a habit at a point where I just couldn't stop, and I just had to keep doing it.
And you've been playing guitar pretty much since you were young as well?
Yeah.
Do you play any other instruments at all? Like piano or bass guitar or anything like
that? No, it's just guitar. That's the only instrument that's kind of been with me my entire life.
Okay. I play guitar as well. When I was like much younger, probably in my late teens, I was playing the guitar. I tried to do the Hmong music stuff. Never really worked out for me, but I still have my my guitars in my house. Were you self-taught, or did you actually like go to like lessons or have a tutor that taught you?
Oh yeah, everything was self-taught. You know, you just go on YouTube and look up some tutorials. You know.
Yeah, that's honestly the best way to learn nowadays. Like,
yeah.
Before, like when I was still learning, it was a little bit of both. People were still having tutors and stuff, in-person tutors. But now with YouTube, it's a lot easier. A former guest that I had on the podcast, Jensen Traney, is actually someone that I learned a lot of guitar tricks from, and he pretty much like broke down a lot of songs. Like one of the very first songs I learned was Grenade by Bruno Mars on the guitar. So that was very simple, very like just pretty much down strumming and very simple rhythm, you know. Now do you play just like rhythmic, or do you also do like finger picking style, kind of like Song Ha Jung, or do you pretty much do whatever you can with the guitar?
I literally just do whatever I can. Majority of the time it's strumming, and sometimes I'll do like some finger style or finger picking songs. Okay. I'm not like, the thing is I never learned like music theory or anything like that, but
right.
If it's a song that I really like, I'll usually figure it out really fast.
Yeah, I never really got into music theory either. I did try to at one point because I saw Sung Ha Jung live in Ann Arbor, Michigan, He was at a small little concert he was doing. He was playing live, and these kids at this college at U of M, they're all like into music theory, and they're actually going to school for music. So I brought my guitar. It's a one of the Ed Sheeran customs. It was when his
nice.
it was when his, I think, not his, the album before Divide. I think was it Multiply or something like that, with the green X. I had that custom series guitar, and I had Songha sign it. And the kids were like, "Hey, do you play guitar too?" And I was like, "No, not the way how they play." These kids were rocking their instruments and like pretty much in a classical way. So I couldn't do it that way. And like they were talking about like music theory and like talking about like all these different stuff. I just felt so out of place. I'm like, From guitar playing to singing when you were young, what kind of just got you to, I guess, start your song covers or even uploading music in general? What kind of got you into that? Was it just because you were just singing from the beginning too?
Honestly, I think it's a lot of influence from my sister because she was in choir and show choir. She did a lot of music stuff, and I saw that and I really enjoyed it. And something about music just always stuck with me, and I just loved how music works and how it's able to connect so many people together. And yeah, that's really how I got started. The music was just always there, and I just really loved singing ever since from the beginning.
Your channel that you've created, it's pretty much not too long ago. Was it just like less than 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, so like I believe it, honestly, I think it was 4 years ago, but it didn't start growing until like a few months ago.
You're right. I haven't gone through your whole, I guess, playlist yet of your music. I try to put in as much time to kind of see where you're coming from with your music. I know you've written some originals as well. And mostly a lot of the covers that you do, at least in some of them, were mostly like live acoustic. Some were studio. And have you thought about transitioning like into the whole studio platform for your music too?
Yeah, I've been trying to just do more studio stuff, but at the same time, I'm still trying to teach myself how to mix music and make it sound professional, but that stuff is pretty confusing. So right now it's more like an experimental and just trying to figure out how I can make it all sound really pretty or sound good. So eventually I'll try to get it all onto the studio.
Are you currently like using, I guess, paying a producer at all or mix and master?
Oh, no.
No?
This is all myself. I bought my own microphone and my own interface, and I'm just doing this myself.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to learn too. I mean, it takes a little bit longer because it's pretty much independent, but I think like once you get down and you're going to be learning a bunch of skill traits anyway, from producing to mixing and stuff like that. So once you pick that up, hopefully in the future you'll be able to release much more better sounding or better quality music too. Because I know guys like Kinang Vang, he does all of that too. And he was on the podcast not too long ago. He was talking about how he was like mixing and mastering for people, and not just mixing that too, but he's also creating music of his own. And I think that's great that a lot of artists or even producers are doing that kind of, I guess, that much work for their music and for others too. Because it does get pricey, when you try to get other producers to just simply mix and master your music, not even create like beats for you. It does get pricey depending on who you want to have touch your music. I know that a lot of your song covers are in English, or you do like more Americanized songs, but have you considered trying to do Hmong music too, or getting to the Hmong industry at all? Yeah,
I talked to some individuals about like possibly doing some Hmong songs with them. I'm totally down. It's just my Hmong is okay. It's just learning how to like read it again, and I think also because growing up, my parents didn't really push me to learn how to read Hmong or speak Hmong a lot. So I guess that's one reason why you don't really see a lot of covers from me. But I'm definitely down to learn some Hmong songs and do some Hmong covers with any artists who want to collab.
Have you thought about doing like any? I know. We'll touch up on this too. Like, I know you did audition for American Idol, but have you done anything, I guess, outside of that too? Like part of like Hmong New Year's or even like small Hmong concerts? Have you done any, I guess, opening acts for them at all?
I haven't really made any strong connections with a lot of Hmong artists yet. I'm definitely down to like make connections, but I don't know if you've heard about Channing.
I think he just released a new song with, or there's a teaser with him and Surprise.
Yeah, Channing, he's a good buddy of mine. We just became friends recently, but artists like him, I'm definitely down to collab with and possibly open up for him, Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Was he the artist that released that song? Like Kusamu J or something? Is that
Yeah,
is that him?
Kuchisamu J, Kuchisamu J. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay,
him.
that's him. Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I know he just released that song recently, but that's honestly the
Yeah.
first time I've heard of him. So he was. That was actually a really good impression for seeing a new artist like that. So I thought that was really cool, and I did
Yeah.
like how they shot that video. You know, and really, they made it seem like really like home, like a
Homey
homey
vibe.
home vibes. Yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
so I thought that was really cool that they did it like that. But yeah, and then like just today or earlier today, him our Surprise released like a teaser of him and Channing. So I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to that. They have like a very like old schoolish kind of vibe to that song too.
Yeah, I really like that. Yeah. So far, yeah, I haven't made any connections with Hmong people, so they haven't really reached out to me to like sing for them. And it also could be because like I don't sing a lot of Hmong songs, so I guess it'd be out of place in some sort of way. But what I have done so far is I've applied. I've auditioned to Americans Got Talent. That didn't go so well because Americans Got Talent, they're looking for like weird stuff. I've just done a lot of like little small gigs. Like I go to the University of Milwaukee, so once in a while I'll do some small gigs there, sing for people, and do some of my originals for people. But honestly, the most that I've done so far is American Idol, and yeah, and that went pretty good.
Now for your audition for was it America's Got Talent? You said,
Yeah.
They kind of just like I guess said it bluntly that they wanted like a quirky background or something like that.
They didn't say that. It's just I think Americans Got Talent is looking for something entertaining, and I don't think that year they were looking for like a musician specifically.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I guess they kind of figure like what they want at the end anyway to promote the show.
Yeah.
Also, you said you've done American Idol. I don't know if you've listened to any of my other episodes, but I did have former contestant William Hung on the podcast too, and he spoke about his experience. And for you, I guess when you went, how was your experience like just auditioning?
Oh wow, it was one of the best experiences in my life. Even though I didn't make it, I think the opportunity and just being there around a lot of musicians was already an amazing experience. So for me, I was lucky enough to get. So there's 2 rounds for the American Idol audition. There's the first round that you go up to the regular judges, and the second round is like the studio. I don't remember what they were called, but they were just other producers as well. But it's in like a studio. What's that word? Oh, it's like a treated room, so they can hear you like clearly. So the first round I went through, I was with 3 other ladies, and we all were singing. And I did not want to be the first one to sing, but guess what? They called me to sing. They called me to be the first one to sing, and so I did the best that I could, and I sung. What song was it? "How Do You Sleep" by Sam Smith. And at that point, I was just so nervous. My hands were like trembling. Couldn't even play my guitar right. I forgot some chords, but besides that, I just took a breath and I just tried my best, and I finished my song. And then after the 4 ladies sung their songs, they pulled up the 3 ladies and then dismissed them. And I was like, oh crap, what's going on? And then they called me up, and they tell me that they like my voice, they like the song that I was doing, but I could just if they could just hear me open up my voice a little louder, they could. That would be good for the other producers in the other room. And so that's what they did, and that's what they gave advice they gave me. And then they gave me a blue slip, and that's when my heart just dropped. I was like, oh crap, this is not happening right now. I was like, no way this is happening right now, because honestly I thought I messed up so bad. But they gave me the blue slip, and they told me to go to the other room, and so that's what I did. And then once that happened, I went into the room with the producer, and I sung my song. I did the best that I could. I messed up on some lyrics, but eventually the producer was like, okay, all right, you got to this point, which is really great. You beat out a lot of people and came to the second round, but we just don't think you're ready yet, and maybe you can try next year. And then at that moment I was like, damn it, I knew I should have just tried my best or something like that. I was just making up excuses in my head, but in reality I knew that I wasn't prepared enough, and I just took it as a lesson for me to learn for the future. And after that point, I've just been pushing myself to just practice singing more and more every day, and just doing the best that I can with music. And hopefully if there's another audition like The Voice, I'll probably try to audition for that. So yeah, that was my experience.
And that's a really good I guess outlook from that too. Usually a lot of people who do audition, they kind of have like a bad story or not really learn from that. But from what you were just saying, it's great that you saw that the mistakes that you've done and you took their advice as well. Now, I guess from how you were explaining, it seems like at the end, it just your nerves got the best of you, pretty much.
The nerves got the best of me. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's understandable too. Like you're doing it's a huge step to even just audition in front of people who like are producers or in that industry. Now, had you passed that second round, would you have gone to the celebrity judges round?
Yep, they would have given me a ticket, and I would have flown straight to California. Not straight right away, but that would have given me the ticket to go to California. Yeah.
Which season were you auditioning for?
Oh crap, I have no clue. I believe it would have been this season right now.
I don't know why I was thinking about such a much older season, because I know Simon Cowell's not even on the show anymore. I just when I think of American Idol, I just think of Simon Cowell and Randy. Yeah, but I think honestly, I think had you make it to the celebrity judges, I don't think it would have been as bad as if you were to have to like face, I guess, someone like Simon, who is as brutal as he is when it comes to music. So I think even if, like, let's say for example you make it to the celebrity round and they turn you down, I don't think they'll be as, I guess, douchey as that. They'll kind of just say, just do better next time and come back or something like that. They won't be like, and this is terrible, like how brutally honest Simon is. Have you done any vocal training at all? Like, you just pretty much, again, like you just do everything independently pretty much? Yeah,
independently, everything. I mean, I did take choir in high school, but they don't really do much with like vocal training. It's just more of like singing the old classical music, right, and singing your vowels correctly and stuff like that.
Yeah, just like really simple stuff. When I was singing, I never really did do like, I guess, choir or any glee stuff in school. Like, I guess like I never really liked that their take on music. You'd sing really old white people stuff. So like I never really liked that. Yeah, that stuff wasn't for me. But yeah, to move on, I think that's a great experience, again, to learn from American Idol and to take that in and kind of just use it for today's stuff. Are you still going to I guess what was it? The University of Milwaukee? Is that the school you're still going to?
Yep, that's the school I'm still going to.
Okay. And what are you currently going for then?
Right now I'm going into like information science technology. To be more like direct, my specific field is like network and security or cybersecurity.
Oh, nice. That way you don't get hacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people who are like in IT. I don't know if they deal specifically with that, but yeah, I'm not too computer savvy. I had to like get a lot of help with all my tech stuff. Like even with like the podcast stuff that I'm doing, like I have a cousin in Wisconsin. I think he's around Milwaukee too, but he builds computers and stuff, and he's helping me with my hardware and all the software stuff. And he's like, make sure you do this, make sure you get that. And I'm just like so lost when it comes to the computer tech stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing. Have you considered, like, I guess, would you like to be with a Hmong label, or would you want to try to go shoot for something bigger, like a mainstream label, or even like I guess like a sub label either too?
Honestly, at this point it's really hard to like have an answer, but I think I always want to shoot big, so hopefully like get a mainstream label or something, or maybe even sing for 88 Rising, their label, their record label. That would be something awesome.
For me, I think you're the first person I've heard someone who's actually shooting for 88 Rising. I don't know why Hmong people don't ever try to shoot for that. Like I know that we have good Hmong labels like Yellow Diamond and even Bay Hmong here in Michigan. Like for Hmong labels and for the Hmong industry, they're pretty good. But I've never understood why like Hmong people have never tried to shoot outside of that. Like again, like with 88 Rising, they're huge. There's Rich Brian, and all the other artists like Dumbfounded who's associated with that group too. I always wondered why Hmong people never tried it. But I think that would be cool though. If you do get an opportunity to work with them, that'd be awesome. You get to be a part of that, I guess, mainstream Asian community, and that's a big deal. Because I think they hold like festivals and stuff too.
I think it's also hard hard because being Asian American, I feel like a lot of the mainstream record labels don't really support Asian musicians. So I feel like the only possibility in the future is like 88 Rising, because they do support the Asian music artists and are pushing the norm of Asian artists out there, which I really like.
Are there any Asian American or even just Asian artists in general that kind of help mold your music choices or kind of inspire you or motivate you? Is there just, I guess, relate to?
That's a good question. Let's see. That's also a thing that has been an issue as well. Since there hasn't been a lot of like mainstream Asian artists out there, I feel like I don't really have one. But at this point in my life, I guess it would be Rich Brian. But I feel like he had to experiment his way through it in order to get somewhere. But I guess he would be some sort of role model that I looked up to now, music wise. But as a child or as a kid, there wasn't really any Asian artist out there that I could really see myself as, other than like K-pop, But yeah, probably Rich Brian.
Yeah, he's done a lot for his age for sure, because he's a really young artist. And like, what's funny about like how like the name change that he did, from like Rich Chiga to Rich Brian, like from where he's at. It's funny how people don't see it, like how like outside industry sees American industry. Like they don't realize, especially in America, like using that kind of term, it is offensive to the Black community for sure. But when the outside industry, or like even like Europe or Asia, to them that's just American mainstream media. They don't know the history behind that. So I felt kind of bad for Rich Brian when he was attacked by that, because like they were going off on him saying like you're disrespecting us. That it does like a lot of political stuff. And for him to change his name like that, I thought that was like kind of crazy too. I'm pretty sure he didn't know like that was the case of that. He just did it because that's what he saw on TV. I'm pretty sure. I think that's how he learned English too. Was just like through American mainstream media. So he kind of just picked up off of that. So I thought that was pretty wild. The name change doesn't really matter. He's still an amazing artist, but I just thought like with him going through that was a pretty crazy moment for him, especially too. Again, like he's a young artist, so he never really knew that. What are your thoughts on that then? Because like not just what he went through, but I guess with Asian artists being out there coming up on the rise, like being like I guess like accused of like I guess culture appropriating, I guess that's what you would call it. What's your thoughts on that?
Man, that's also like a really hard topic because it's so controversial. I think it's great that these Asian artists are getting out there, but I feel like because we only have so many genres like hip hop, rap, and like pop music, I feel like because Asian artists do lean towards like the hip hop and R&B kind of vibe, I feel like with the Black community they do get also upset because they also want the credit, because hip hop and rap and all that stuff, it was originated from the Black community. As Asian artists, I feel like it's a way of representing hip hop and the culture, and honestly what I see is that they just really appreciate the genre of music like R&B and hip hop. Like you see Rich Brian singing a lot of hip hop music and rap music and a little bit of R&B in there, but it seems like he really appreciates that music and he doesn't mean anything bad from it. Yeah, that's what I have to say about it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. Look, and for the listeners who are listening to this, like we're not making any like knocking points on any like of the Black community stuff. Of course, we acknowledge that the music did come from that community. It's originated in that. It's in history for sure. And I do understand like a lot of in history back then, like where it was stolen and never given credit to. For example, like Elvis is one of the biggest thieves out there for sure. As talented as he is, he did steal a lot of Black culture and he did appropriate that kind of music and never gave them talent. And I just want listeners to understand, like with the Asian community itself, like as we're adapting to the modern society, this is what Asian Americans are growing up with this kind of music genre and changing with these music genre. So it's not so much, I guess, I don't want to say it's appropriating, but we still give credit to where credit's due, because a lot of the influences that we have are from the Black community, and it's also a way for us to express that we do enjoy that genre or that music, and it's a way to help share that culture, and it's not like we're trying to steal it, like with 88 Rising, that's why I like what they're doing with hip hop and rap and stuff. Like it's more than just it's more than just, I guess, putting an Asian face on that kind of genre. It's like showing that we can do this kind of music too, and we do respect that stuff. Yeah, I know that, like, I agree with you too. Like, it's a very touchy subject, so I'm pretty sure I can hear like fingers like typing on keyboards and stuff. Like, no, you got this wrong. So if you if any listener has like opinions or something to say or want to correct me as well, go ahead, go for it. You can message me on Facebook or on Instagram or stuff like that. All that details will be at the end of the video or at the end of the podcast anyway. I'll switch the topic here because I don't want to stay on this subject too long. He does get really like intense at times because you're kind of like stepping on eggshells now because you say something wrong, you're going to offend a certain group of people. Now with the music that you do like a lot of like acoustic R&B kind of like almost like, because I feel like the music you do is a little bit different from R&B, you know, like there's guys like, you know, Generation Boys and David Yang who do that hip hop R&B style, but you still have like that slow bluesy kind of hip hop or R&B kind of, you know. So what kind of just drew you into that genre? Were there certain artists that you kind of grew up listening to that helped you to get into that kind of music style?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you know this one. I listened to a lot of Tori Kelly growing up. And can that girl sing? And that's honestly, if there's one role model that I could choose, and it would definitely be Tori Kelly, because her riffs, her runs, everything, her soulful voice, everything about her music, it just hit me differently compared to all the other artists. And I think that's why I've taken a little twist from her, and that's why my style of music is a little different from what you hear nowadays. And
I also like hear, like, when I listen to your music, especially through the covers, you know, there's a little bit of like Leroy Sanchez, Ed Sheeran kind of in that too. So do you listen to Leroy Sanchez at all?
Oh yeah, he was another guy I used to listen to all the time. That guy could sing.
Yeah, like I've had the opportunity to meet both Tori Kelly and Leroy Sanchez on different occasions. Awesome. Like with Leroy, it was more like a more smaller show, so I was able to meet him and talk to him for a few minutes. But like with Tori Kelly, it was when her Unbreakable Smile album came out, so it was a huge deal. I took my cousin; it was her 16th birthday, so we took her, or I took her to meet Tori Kelly, and like my experience to meet Tori was so funny because I'm standing in line with the VIP and stuff. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to say to her because obviously it's just like quick photo op and go, you know. So I go there and I see people meeting her, and I see the, you know, her big poof, her hair, and I'm just like, shit, I don't know what I'm gonna say to her because this is so nerve-wracking because like I've been following her since the her cover of Justin Timberlake's Suit and Tie. So when I finally met her, I didn't realize how tall she was. I don't think she's too tall, but from what I've seen, she was wearing heels or on a platform. She seemed pretty tall. Yeah. So when I met her, I was like, oh my god, what did I say? And I just like, hi Tori, and she goes hi. And I was like, what the heck? I took the photo. I'm like, what the fuck? I wait all this time just to say hi Tori. Like, what the hell? So it was so great, like so crazy, like just to see her in person like that, and like especially like when she's, you know, on the rise at the time, you know, before she's at where she's at right now. And it's so great to see artists like her kind of just break out, and like they don't carry that kind of I mean, they're still kind of mainstream, but they don't have like all that controversy behind them. You know, they have good soulful, positive type vibe music, and it's not like where she's showcasing a lot of her physical looks either. So obviously you're more concentrated on her voice, and that's what I liked. And that's what I really liked about her. And so seeing her live was just phenomenal. You know, like I know that when Paper Hearts was like one of her top songs, and it's something I still listen to occasionally. And man, the moment she plays like that intro for Paper Hearts, the crowd went wild. She sang like one or two bars of that song, and that was it. And then everyone went nuts because she just sang a little bit of that song. Her
voice is just so buttery smooth. It's crazy. You just sink into her voice, and you just have to listen.
Yeah, like honestly, like her riffs, you know, like as you were saying, like she does it so easily. And
effortlessly.
And like, what's a good example of that? Like her I believe in Paper Hearts, like towards like the middle end, you know, where she's after she hits that bridge, and she just goes into like the big part of the chorus, you know, like she runs so good, and
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then the fact that she sounds even better live than she does
I know.
on the album. Yeah, it's wild to hear her live like that. You've seen her live, I'm assuming.
Yeah, on my birthday, my sisters took me out, and holy crap, that was exceptional. Like, that voice is one of a kind. You can't find that anywhere else.
Have you listened to her, I guess, her newest album at all?
Yeah, I've listened to a little bit of her songs, but I guess I really liked her on her Unbreakable Smile album and all her other old songs.
Yeah, I think it is like for her. I think it is kind of hard too to kind of break out of that huge uprising. You know, like
Right.
she still has the talent is still there, but to write music that surpasses a song like Dear No One or Paper Hearts, or I assume it's pretty difficult for an artist like her to kind of find a song that kind of breaks her out of that typecast, you know, because a lot of fans, you know, they love her because, especially Asian fans, I noticed a lot of, even Hmong fans specifically, Hmong fans loved her songs like back when she was still doing her EPs and stuff. So like everyone was trying to do that style of singing, and I remember like seeing and hearing Hmong girls especially like trying to do Tori Kelly runs and covers, and like do the hair, and like I remember that so perfectly well during that time before she blew up. And funny thing, like, you know, I find it crazy too. Yeah, she was on American Idol too, so I thought that was pretty cool to, you know, and just to I guess reminisce too, because I think her audition, she got shut down pretty bad by Simon.
Yeah, because Simon Cowell said that her voice was annoying. But look at her now.
Yeah, it's crazy to see where she's gone. And honestly, I think like the year that her and Meghan Trainor went up for Best New Artist, dude, she got
Meghan
robbed.
Trainor got it. Oh my gosh.
Tori Kelly got robbed. Yeah, I was so mad. I was like, no, there's no way that Meghan Trainor was better, because at the time, I remember one year where Meghan Trainor had just come out with that bass, like All About That Bass song, and she was headlining at St. Andrews Hall in downtown Detroit, which is pretty much like next to the Shelter, or in that same building as the Shelter, and I see comments and stuff like, what, she's gonna sing All About That Bass like 20 times because that's her only song that's out there, you know. And then I don't know, like I like her I guess her objective of her music, you know, like you know, uplifting women and you know, and changing the views on women and not being shameful, like crossing out body shaming and stuff like that. I thought that was great of her on her end, but talent wise, Tori Kelly destroys her. And I was just like, that's not. I was like, that was not fair, you know. that Tori lost.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I think she won a lot of other awards after that, though, right?
I think she did get some awards for like singles and stuff, but I think that year Best New Artist should have been Tori Kelly, because they were pretty much neck to neck. They were like doing tours and they were releasing new songs. So I think those two were the ones that like a lot of younger fans wanted to see this who would win for sure. I don't know. I think Meghan Trainor, I'd never really seen a lot of her stuff on YouTube or anything like that. I know, because we're just so focused on Tori Kelly on YouTube and stuff like this. And plus she got to work with the likes of like Timothy De La Ghetto. She got to collaborate with a bunch of other upcoming or up and coming, or then at the time at the top YouTube artists, you know, and she got to break out of that YouTube into the mainstream media. I guess for you, I know we've been on this tangent of just about Tori Kelly.
That's awesome.
I know that for you, doing your YouTube music and stuff, is there any, I guess, YouTube artists that you would like to work with eventually, if you do get the opportunity to?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. I don't know. I think if the time comes and I get the opportunity to collab with anyone, I think that would already be an awesome experience. But to name one, I can't on the top of my head. There's just so many awesome artists out there.
Yeah, like this, you know, at the time, you know, with especially YouTube, like with making these artists come out of nowhere, you know, it's to the point where like YouTube itself is almost considered mainstream. Like if you make it big on YouTube, you're pretty much a celebrity anyway. And to see like a lot of these artists, you know, like again, like Tori, Leroy Sanchez, Tyler Ward, Connor Maynard, you know, these guys have been grinding on YouTube since the beginning, and now they're pretty much I'm pretty sure they're still independent, but they are like the top tier of YouTube musicians.
Yeah, they're like set for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and I think hopefully one day we get to see a Hmong artist get to that level. I know like David Yang's probably one of the very few that's kind of like that, but you know,
It's still stuck in the Hmong community. Though.
yeah, he's still like he's still doing music for the Hmong community. I think, but his numbers show for it though. Like he's up there. But I would really like to see a Hmong artist like be kind of like out there, like how like the artists I just named, like they're still YouTubers, but they get to, you know, collaborate with big name YouTubers and get to do music with them, make videos with them. So hopefully, if I'm wrong, listeners, let me know who's already there, because I honestly I haven't seen anyone that's made it to that kind of, I guess, point of YouTube or being a YouTuber. But if there are Hmong people out there like that are considered on that level, then I would love to see what kind of content they do, whether they're singers or not. Kenji, have you are you working on any like EPs or albums at all, or are you just sticking with making song covers right now?
Right now I'm working on a song. It's almost done, so you guys might get to hear it maybe in less than a month, but it is more on the explicit side. But I think as a new artist, I think trying something different, you guys might find that entertaining in some way.
Yeah, it's good to break out of your comfort zone, because you know, like being again, like you don't want to be like typecast to just a specific type of artist or even to just a type of genre. You do want to try different things, and if it takes you to be explicit with your lyrics, then go for it.
Yeah, but it is coming out soon. Hopefully it'll be done soon, but yeah, you guys will hear a little bit of it.
Now this will be an independent song, or are you featuring anyone?
Yeah, this is going to be an independent song. I have one of my friends helping me out with this right now, so hopefully we get it done soon and I can release it out for you guys.
Are you thinking about doing like a music video at all?
I haven't thought about that yet. If there's anybody out there who wants to record me, hit me up. I think a music video would be cool, but let's see once I release a song where it takes me, and if it works out, I'll probably make a music video.
And this song that you'll be releasing within a month or so, is this going to be something like, I guess, an official like first single release kind of thing? Like I know you've written originals, but will this be like the first studio mixed and mastered song?
I don't know yet. It might just be like a song I put on YouTube and not like put it on iTunes or SoundCloud yet. Oh, okay. If it gets big or something, maybe I will, but for now it's just more of like an experimental kind of song.
And I hope that goes well for you, man. And I'll definitely I'll be sharing that too. I'll be looking forward to that. You should definitely do like a Facebook or a Facebook fan page or something. That way fans can kind of get the news from you too. I know your Facebook your personal Facebook page, you have a lot of followers there already, but you should definitely do like a Facebook page or like a fan page too.
Yeah, I'll probably start doing that. I know I made a fan page in like high school, but I think I deleted that one, so I'll probably make a new fan page.
With creating music, it's so much easier now, right? Like you can just shoot out emails and contact your producers or stuff like that. You don't really have to meet people, because you know, like with the current epidemic right now with the whole Corona stuff. Yeah, it's crazy with everyone having to stay indoors, and you know, I feel like this is such a good opportunity for just content creators in general, because now you don't have to go out and meet people, so you can just spam your posts and stuff like that. And pretty much, I guess for you, I guess with this epidemic, are you just staying home since school is kind of just like closed for now? Yeah, I'm just staying home, trying to do some music. I'm trying to write new songs. Hopefully, get more than one song out to you guys. Yeah, I've just been home all day. And are you currently working at all, or are you just going to school and just doing music? I am working right now, but since it's at the university and it's closed, I guess I'm unemployed right now. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, because for me, at least, I'm still working, and it kind of, I low-key do want my workplace to kind of shut down, but I need the money too. But I don't know, man. This stuff is pretty wild right now. Like everyone's crazy. Like, going to the stores, and like I think as of now, like you're. I don't know if you guys have like Costco's and stuff up there, but in Wisconsin, but there's like a limit now to where you can only buy so much I guess, material and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like the hoarders and like the extreme couponers, they were like wiping that shit out quick. You know, like
Yep.
2 to 3 carts full of toiletries and food and snacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I have a small family, so I don't really have to like worry about that stuff. Like my folks and my sister, like we just get it. We have enough just for like the 4 of us and our dogs. And then but man, I felt bad for people like who don't have the opportunity to go out there and buy stuff, because like a lot of people just hoard. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And is it pretty bad up there in Wisconsin right now too? Like with this crisis?
To be honest, actually, I was talking to my mom and my dad, and they were saying like Costco, most of their stuff was gone. Literally, there was a line that extended all the way to the end of the store. Yeah, people are hoarding so many things. I think it's happening everywhere because people are just afraid.
Did you guys have like that rice epidemic too?
Yep. Yeah. All the Hmong stores gone. All the rice gone.
People were fucking crazy. I don't think I don't know if there's any still, like, at least in Michigan. I don't recall if there's any like Hmong stores per se. Like I know that there's like, you know, like 168, the Korean stores, and like the Viet stores, like they have rice and stuff, and people were just like going crazy for it. I think like there were some shops that like got caught for price gouging, for like upping the price for like $60 for a 25-pound bag of rice and stuff. It was crazy, and like people were fighting for it. And I think when my parents were searching for, I guess, the rice bags and stuff, it wasn't too bad. We got lucky. We got our share just before the craziness happened, and then they went back to like Sam's Club and Costco, and they were like, "Holy shit, it's all gone!"
Yeah,
you know? Like all the pallets are empty, and it's just people were fighting for that stuff. And I don't know, man. Like it's. I don't know. I do get that this epidemic is like it's a serious one for sure. Mm-hmm. It is like it's good to stay quarantined, to stay home, and to be healthy. Because I recently had to cancel a trip that I have next week, and it sucks that I had to do that, but it's for the sake of everyone's health and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Like it's so wild. Like people are really uneducated with it too. You know, like the recent, you know, Asian attacks and stuff like that. I don't know. I know in Wisconsin, like from what I hear, the rumors and the stereotypes up there is like, you know, the Hmong folks up there kind of get it rough up there in Wisconsin. So hopefully, nothing bad happens to you or your folks too. You know, like and like and the pretty much like everyone recording videos, and you know, there's like I couldn't get through some of the videos. Like there was like the one where like that Asian couple got jumped in Philly, and like I couldn't get through that. I watched like a little bit, and I stopped, and man, it's sad to see that, you know, like I understand like people are scared and stuff, and then but to take it out on Asian Americans is pretty ignorant. Yeah,
that's like another story to talk about. It's crazy.
How are you dealing with the whole social distancing?
It's not too hard for me because I don't really talk to a lot of people, or most of my friends, we just message each other online. I feel like it's not that hard nowadays because people can just Skype and call each other. So for me, it's not too bad. If I want to talk to someone, I'll just call them or message them.
Yeah, like it's perfect for all the like introverts and stuff. Like we've been practicing this shit for years, so we're good. But yeah, man, I think this is great, you know, to kind of have fans get to know you and to see where you come from especially as a Hmong artist. You know, I feel like with these podcasts that I do with Hmong artists, for sure, I like to, you know, help showcase Hmong artists in general, just like to show that there's more than just the typical, you know, like rappers and stuff like that. Not that that's bad or anything, but like it's, you know, I like to showcase more talent. I know like a lot of rappers are coming up though. I know Kevin Yang, he's from Wisconsin too. Mm-hmm. He had a few new songs that came out, and I don't know, I feel like a lot of Wisconsin artists are slowly popping up more and more. Yeah. I've noticed that lately in the past like 2 or 3 months now. Like it's a lot of Wisconsin artists for sure. But I think that's pretty cool, that there are Hmong artists like that. But again, Kenji, I'm glad that someone like you who's doing having a different take on Hmong music, that it's coming up to with the sounds that you have, and hopefully that it'll encourage younger artists to kind of not be afraid and to not go into, I guess, what you would call like, the mainstream or the typical stuff. You don't
Right.
have to just be a rapper. You can also be a blues kind of singer, or like,
Right.
kind of inspire from like, again, like Tori and Leroy Sanchez and stuff like that. So I guess before we wrap things up, did you have any like plugs or shout outs you like to do?
Shout out to everyone who supported me, I mean, like, I appreciate everyone who's been with me now and helped me to the point where I am now, and I appreciate everyone. Especially you too, Ricky, for helping me get out there and helping all the Hmong artists that have the talent and giving them the platform to start off on. Yeah, thank you so much, Ricky.
Yeah, no problem, man, and thank you too for making time. I try my best to help a lot of up and coming Hmong artists too, because again, I understand what it's like to be a young Hmong artist, and from at least on my end, I never got the opportunity to pursue it. So that's why with this podcast stuff, I feel like it's great to have someone or try to be someone to help these younger artists too, because it is frustrating. It's as easy as it is to just upload a song and share it, to grab some sort of platform. That's what makes it hard. And that's what I'm trying to do with a lot of these younger artists, and even the artists right now that are even my age, like to showcase their ability to be able to express themselves as singers and artists, and to show off their creativity. And that's what I really want to do for my guest. And again, for you, Kenji, you're a great young artist, and I hope everything goes well for you in the future. And with this new song that you have coming soon, I'm really looking forward to it. And hopefully it goes well for you, dude. And if you ever want to come back on the podcast, dude, let me know, and I'll definitely make time for you for sure. Did you want to have, I guess, let fans or listeners know how they can reach you or follow your social media and stuff too?
Yeah, feel free to message me on Facebook, and if I'm ever live on Facebook, come join me. You're welcome to come watch me sing and give me some song requests, or if any new upcoming artists want to collab with me, feel free to message me. All right, thank you so much, Ricky. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, man. And before I close things off, I do want to let people know and listeners know too that this will be the last episode that'll be on the Poplug page. As of now, and earlier today, actually, I made a Spoiler Force podcast Facebook page. That'll be strictly just Spoiler Force news, updates, video clips, and stuff like that. So pretty much episodes 1 through 47 will be on Poplug. And if anyone wants to go to those archives, you're more than welcome to. They're all full episodes, but pretty much from episode 48 on, I will be only doing clips and stuff on Facebook, and then the playlist will be on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. So any listeners that do get confused, I apologize, because now I finally just decided to make the Spoiler Force Podcast Facebook page itself. It doesn't mean that I'm not a part of Poplug anymore. It's just I'm branching out on my own. I'll still be an admin on Poplug and to help share some of the stuff and that they do on their end. And I'll still be posting here and there. The transition won't be too crazy, but pretty much by April, I will be having all the new episodes or clips and stuff to the Spoiler Force Facebook page. So make sure you guys follow and like Spoiler Force Podcast on Facebook. And and make sure you guys follow Kenji and subscribe to his YouTube channel for sure. I'll have all the links and stuff in the description. And again, Kenji, thank you so much for your time, dude. This has been great. I know that a lot of the topics have kind of just been off different little tangents, but I hope you had a great time. And again, man, if you ever do this again, let me know. And again, this will be great. And thank you again.
For sure, man. I'll catch you later, Ricky. Thank you.
All right. And thank you guys for listening to Spoiler Force Podcast. Have a good day. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, follow, like, share, comment, and rate Spoiler Force Podcast. For comments, questions, concerns, and criticism, you can email Spoiler Force Podcast at popluckpodcast, popluckpodcast@gmail.com, or contact me personally on Instagram.com/RickyVang92, RickyVang92.